to look higher, right? Okay, nobody know how.
Once upon a time, in a land not far away, me, my friend Izzy, and Nicola, we went hiking. And then we got a little bit silly on the trail and we got lost in the woods. Now, we had told our parents and family or whatever that we would be going for the weekend on our hike, so it would take at least 2 more days until we would be known missing and be looked for. So, when we got a little silly, we got lost and then we were in the woods and, well, that's where the story begins. So, we had a phone, but it had 50% battery left on it, no cell signal, no emergency calls, no nothing, and civilization was nowhere near us. We each had a stick of beef jerky in our backpacks. We'd found a rusted tin pot. We had a lighter. We found fishing line and a hook. We had a knife. And, well, let's see, what else did we have? Nothing else, really, except for ourselves. And that is where our story begins. The 3 idiots, well, not really idiots, Bean was most likely the most idiot. They figured, well, we should probably build some sort of shelter for the night because the sun was going down. So, Bean gathered lots of limbs. She brought, like, pretty much a couple of fallen trees, basically. Izzy brought a few limbs, found a few limbs, and a few sticks. And Nicola did too. So Nicola and Izzy built, and I guess Bean kind of contributed a little bit by helping them keep things standing. They built their little shelter, and it looks more like a Minecraft hut than anything. Now, because Bean was pretty much retarded in every single aspect, but useful aspects, it took her 10 times, 10 attempts to light the lighter before she lit the campfire that they made just a few seconds ago with some sticks and some pebbles. And she was like, "Oh, I'm sure I don't need help. I'm sure I don't need help. I can do this." 10 attempts later, she finally got it. And you know, the part that she wasn't retarded in was strange information that would probably never be needed anywhere else. And she knew that worms were more nutritious than beef jerky. So encore the worm eating montage.
Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. Guess I'll go eat worms. Big fat juicy ones, long thin slimy ones, itsy bitsy fuzzy wuzzy worms. Down goes the first one, down goes the second one. Oh, how they
They
wiggle.
all slept after they ate. Nicola drank a bottle of water. Izzy drank a little bit of water, and Bean drank a tiny bit because why would she actually survive? When in all reality I could probably survive. I just played as the idiot in this. Oh well.
Oh look, some poisonous berries.
So night 2, it had rained all night. Their fire was gone. Their shelter was flooded. Most of their tools were gone too. So they decided,
That's a weird
well,
looking thing.
they would look for new land. Izzy said that she would go look for drier land, and
Are you dying?
Nicola went
Oh, my
fishing.
bad. I forgot.
Bean was, well, pretty much having a mental breakdown and just didn't want to do anything. Probably because the worms were getting to her. She ate too many. Got them parasitic worms. So after a while of not working or contributing anything from Bean, Izzy had to sit down and give Bean a stern talking to. And you know what? Somehow that inspired Bean to be more useful. And she collected worms and put them in buckets for Nicola to use as bait while still eating quite a few. Well, maybe not buckets, but more of just, whatever they had in hand. So they built a new little hut. Looked the same as the last one. Maybe a little bit more secure. And they built a fire, took Bean, this time, 2 attempts. Then she ate worms again. 'Cause why not? Izzy and Nicola cooked fish, and they collected water from the stream,
Oh, look, some
river,
poisonous
lake,
berries.
whatever you so please to call it.
Oh, wait, I'm supposed to get sick from worms. Oh, wait, I can use this as
And they
bait.
took their pot.
Yippee.
After cooking their fish, they put their
Yippee.
rusty tin pot over the fire
Yippee.
to boil the water
It's a
to get
weird
rid of
looking thing.
any dangerous things. And then they let the water cool and they drank it.
Burn.
And,
Are you dying?
next day comes,
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
and there's the sound of a helicopter overhead. And Bean is profusely vomiting. It's vicious. It's graphic. And so Bean pretty much after a few minutes dies, and they try to drag her onto the helicopter when it lands because they got the attention of the helicopter. They were waving, they were shouting, and they made a little fire smoke signal, and they put it out too after the helicopter landed. And they tried to drag Bean on, but she was already dead, so it was no use. So they just left her there. Good compost. And then, well, they got home safely, and Bean was just dead. And that is the end of our beautiful, wonderful story.